Oh my gosh, I literally have not even started filming and I'm like jotting down my thoughts and I'm literally already getting so emotional about it. So a lot of you know that I was adopted. If you followed me on Instagram, I'm like really open about it and I love talking about it because it was one of the greatest things that has ever happened in my life. So I do want to make a disclaimer with this video, and just that every adoption is not the same, and I think that's what makes adoption so beautiful, is that everyone's story is so unique, the birth moms and the child's, and the parents that are adopting. And I think that's something that's so awesome and beautiful about adoption, is that everyone's story is so unique to them, just like mine is to me, and I'm going to share that with you, which is something that's so personal to me, but I really feel very inspired to share my story and not just keep it to myself. So I'm really excited to do that, and I'm also going to be answering a lot of questions that I get towards the end of this video, so make sure to stay tuned for that. And if you have any other questions, you can comment them below. Maybe I can film a part 2. Oh my gosh, it's like I literally get so like not choked up, but like just kind of it's such an emotional thing, because like it's so many good emotions and there was times in my life where it was like not very good. So I made notes in my phone because I wanted to make sure that I kind of went over everything that I wanted to. When my birth mom was 20, she had a unplanned pregnancy, and it was me, and obviously it took her life for a complete whirlwind, and she has told me many times that it was the like hardest time of her life, and placing me for adoption was the hardest thing that she has ever done in her life. And it's so crazy, because I really believe that adoption, like for a birth mom, like placing a baby for adoption is the most selfless thing that anyone could ever do, because you're literally like, as a woman, you get so connected to the baby that's growing inside of you, and you know you connect with them 24/7. You're creating all these bonds with them, and I don't even have a child, and I can't even imagine. And I do want to say that I'm so freaking grateful that my birth mom sacrificed those 9 months of her life for me, so that I could have a life and that I could be living on this earth, because if it were not for her, I would not be alive. And I know everyone has different opinions about it, but that this is like one speaking moment when I'm so grateful that she did not have an abortion or you know, any of those other things, because I really believe that everyone deserves a chance at life, and especially an innocent baby in a situation like that. So on the other perspective, so there was Kelly, which is my birth mom, and then my parents. And my parents were trying to get pregnant for, I think, oh man, probably like 3 or 4 years, and they couldn't. They had tried like in vitro, and my mom had miscarriages, just a lot of things that went just didn't work out for them. And I have an older sister, and so they had my sister, and we're 6 years apart. So they had my sister, and then they tried to get pregnant after her, and they couldn't. And so they looked into adoption. So when you're looking to adopt a baby, you create a file, and it kind of explains about you, like who you are, what your family's like, what you do for work, like what you enjoy doing, all these kinds of things. And then the birth moms go through and they look through those files, and they like see who they really believe like should be the parents to their baby. So my parents were chosen by Kelly, my birth mom. And she told me, I mean, she's told me this so many times, oh my gosh, that she said when she looked at my parents' file, like she knew that they were my parents. And I think that's so special. And she had read many, like she had read, I don't know the exact number, but I can only imagine how many files she had read. She said the second that she started reading it, she knew that those were my parents. So I literally am so grateful for her. And if any of you have anyone that's adopted in your life, or if you're adopted, or if you know someone that is, always give them extra love because you can always use it. So once my birth mom chose my parents, I think my parents were in Lake Powell when they found out, and their agent, like their adopting agency that they were with, contacted them, and it was a really cool experience for them and for my birth mom as well. Throughout my whole childhood, my birth mom would write me a letter and she would give me a gift on my birthday every year. And that was seriously like every year for my birthday, I would just be so excited to get that one letter from her and that gift. Like, they always meant so much to me, and I still have all of them that she's given me throughout my throughout my whole childhood and whatnot. So it was so special to receive those. And I know my adoption was actually closed. So any contact that was made through Kelly and my mom was actually made through a third party. So there's someone in the middle that would kind of give certain contact back and forth. And it'd be so interesting to have them tell you the story, because it would be coming from a whole different perspective of Kelly telling the story and then my parents telling the story, because they'd have different experiences to share that I don't even feel like I could share it and do them justice. So let me know if you guys would be interested in hearing from either of them, and we could maybe put a video together. Throughout my whole entire first year of being born, my mom wrote my birth mom, Kelly, letters every single week, and there's a whole book of them. And it's so freaking special. I love that book so much. And she just has the letters, just like what they did, like what I did that day, progress I'm making, just little cute things like that. And I think that's so special. And I also think it's so incredible for my parents to be as involved with Kelly as they were. I know a lot of parents, after they, adopt the baby, they don't really want any connection with the birth mom, or they just keep it very minimal. Like I said, every situation is so different. But I think that's so special that my parents made sure to keep in contact with her. Personally, I view adoption as the most incredible blessing that has ever been given to me in my life, besides, besides my husband or my family. Because it literally made me be able to be the person that I am, and even able to meet Colby. It just put me in all these, circumstances and stuff, which I think is so incredible. And yeah, so I really view it as the most incredible thing that's happened to me. And I really believe that everything in life that you go through is just your perspective on it. If you have a perspective that's really negative and doesn't really get you anywhere, then I think that you can easily blame something on those feelings that you're having, when really if you just view it from a different perspective, a positive one and an uplifting one, then I really believe that a lot can change and that you can be very happy. So fast forward a quick 16 years. On my 16th birthday, actually, I think it was 2 weeks before I turned 16, so I was technically still 15. Maybe it was only a week before. I can't 100% remember. My parents surprised me with the most incredible thing ever. So I'll tell you the story. One day I came home from school and my mom said, "Tara, we're gonna go take family pictures today." And I said, "Mom, it's a Friday night." Like, I was a sophomore in high school. I'd just gone in high school because my birthday's in September, so it was like the second week of school. So I'm like, "Mom, it's a Friday night. Like, there's football games. Like, I don't want to go take family pictures on a Friday night. Like, what?" I was like so annoyed. And my mom said, "Yeah, Tara, like, we have to just, get dressed and let's just get going. We have to get going soon. The photographer's gonna be there really soon." I said, "Okay." I was like, "Okay, whatever. I mean, this kind of sucks because I wanted to go." Yeah, I had all these plans. Like, I had plans with my friends. And so we go to Gardner Village, which is just this little cute little shop in Utah. And I had no idea what was going on. I was so, like, I'm pretty easy to, like, get things past because I don't really overthink things too much. Well, that's not true. I feel like I'm really easy to, like, surprise. So I just didn't think too much of it because we had always taken family pictures in fall every single year since I was a little girl. So it was like nothing, so it was nothing like too crazy. And so we're like, walking in Gardner Village. I walk across this bridge and there was like all these ducks in the pond, and I was just like so like like honestly mesmerized. I was just like, oh my gosh, they're so cute. I'm like, Dad, look at these ducks. And my dad's looking at me, like he gives me this look. He's like, and he looks at me, and then he goes and he keeps looking over, and I'm like, what? And I look over, and I kid you not, I felt like I was in a dream. It was the most insane thing of my life. Standing on the other side of this bridge is my birth mom, my little brother Austin, and he's technically my half brother, and then Kelly's husband. And I was like, I just immediately like just started, oh my gosh, I just started breaking down into tears. It was like, when I talk about it, it still doesn't even feel like it was real. It was so crazy. And I'd known what she looked like because I'd gotten pictures of her and like Joshua and Austin all growing up. And so for me, it was just like, holy crap, like this is so insane. Like they're literally in front of me. Like it was so crazy. It would be like I'm trying to figure out like how to even explain it. It's like meeting a celebrity that you literally have known ever since you like the day that you were born, and you just like, you think the world of them, you love them, you look up to them, I mean just like all these things. Like that's literally how it was for me when I saw her and I met her and I hugged her. It was like, I guess I didn't meet, we were reunited. We always say reunited, not met, even though it was the first time we had ever come contact since we were both since I was a teenager and she was an adult. It was so insane. And I'm scrolling through my Instagram to, I know I have a small clip on here of the day that we were reunited, but I'm gonna show you the actual video, but I'm just gonna watch it really quick. It's so cute. It's so, oh my gosh. And here's a picture of us. If it's like kind of in focus, it should be. It's so crazy because like when I look at this, I'm like, I can't believe, like I can't even remember what my life was before I knew Kelly, because we're so freaking close now. It's so insane. So anyways, so after that, after we had met, they were in Utah for a few days, visiting obviously for that, and it was so incredible to just like talk to them and like hang around Austin, you know. And it was so crazy because I'd never been around anyone who was like blood related to me, so it was crazy to see like the similarities that we had, and just everything. Like our laughs are the exact same. It is so weird. Our humor is the same. So I've met Kelly's siblings, her really good friends, her parents, and Kelly was actually adopted too. She was adopted from Iran, so she's full Persian, and she was adopted out of an orphanage out of Iran. Just quick little side note. And so I'm actually half Persian, and it's so crazy though because we're so much alike. Like yes, we look alike, but our personalities, oh my gosh, like it's so weird. I'm literally like, my personality, like I have so many traits that are a mini like version of her. It's really crazy. It's insane. And anyone that knows us and has hung out with both of us together is like a freaking lot to handle sometimes. Yeah, my birth mom is literally one of like she's one of my like best friends. I talk to her like literally daily. We're constantly communicating, whether it's on like Snapchat, texting, calling, Instagram, something. And anyways, I just think it's like so special to have such a good relationship with her. And also it's so, I mean, can we just talk about how freaking awesome my parents are? because my parents literally, like, they raised me, they fed me, they clothed me, they gave me everything I had, they gave me the most incredible childhood. They literally were so selfless themselves that they prayed about it, and they knew that I was supposed to be in Kelly's life and she was supposed to be in mine. And there's so many times, like, growing up where I would, like, ask for her advice, kind of like she was, like, kind of like a big sister to me. When I would, like, talk to her, we would just be like, oh my gosh, we literally are so much alike. It's so insane. Now we're going to get to some questions that some people had. So the first one, how do you feel about being adopted? Like I've said throughout this video, I love it so much. It was the greatest blessing of my life. And like I said, I think life is just all how you view something, and you can view it as a good thing or a bad thing, positive or negative. And I truly believe that the family that I am with and that I've grown up with are my family, and I have never doubted that for a second, at least ever since I've been an adult and actually able to understand things fully. But like overall, even when I was growing up, I never once could have said like my family is not my family. So the next question is, do you struggle with rejection? And the answer is no. I think a lot comes with, I mean, rejection is such a broad perspective, but honestly I don't care about rejection. Especially like as I've gotten older and matured more. I'm only 21, so I still have a lot of life to live. I'm not personally someone who really, if I know I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to be doing and I really believe that I'm living my best life and giving a lot and I'm giving to those around me, I personally believe that if you're doing that, you're going to be a very confident person. And if someone has any slight feeling about rejecting you, whether it's like a friend, family members, boys, like all these different things, I personally don't believe that, I mean, I personally don't feel as of right now that I really care about that. With my job, if I reach out to brands, I've gotten rejected literally so many times, and I don't care because the worst thing that someone can say is no. And I believe that also everything happens for a reason, and if you're doing everything that you're supposed to be doing and you're working hard and you really believe that you're on the path that you're supposed to be on, I think that's great. And I also think that, I mean, when I was younger, I don't know if I would ever say, I don't think I would use rejected as the right word because I never felt that way. I think like as an innocent child, you just are kind of just like, okay, what is going on? Like you're just trying to figure everything out. So I wouldn't say rejection I ever really had a problem with. Maybe the only thing I can think of is like boys when I was in high school. Like if a guy rejected me, it like would hurt me so bad. And then once I got out of high school, I was like, no, it changed. So the next question says, have you tried or thought about researching your birth family history? And this is a yes, I definitely have. Obviously because my birth mom was from Persia, I'm really interested to see just kind of like that side of the family. And her birth mom actually died giving birth to her, and her birth dad took her to a orphanage, and so she was adopted from there. And so I think it'd be really interesting to just kind of like see like that side of the story. Actually, I wasn't ever scared. It was, like I said, it was the most incredible thing in my life. So the next question says, when did you reach out and find your birth mom? Were you scared, and how did you handle? If you have watched this video, I think you know my reaction to this. It was the day that I met her, and it was actually because of my parents, like I said, and it was the most amazing, incredible day of my life. I always said it was the best day of my life until I get married, and that is still so true. It was the best day of my life besides my wedding. So next question, how did you feel when you found out you were adopted? Okay, so I actually love this question because I love answering it. So I personally never felt any negative feelings about being adopted, and I always knew that my family was my family, and I knew that I was supposed to be with them. And I knew that in the pre-mortal life, that's who my family was. And I feel like it's so much more than just this life that we're in currently. I personally believe that there was a life before this and there's life after this, and I'm LDS, if you guys know what that religion is, and if you don't, you can go to lds.org and find out more. And if you have any questions too, you can also DM me. Do you ever feel any resentment to your birth mother? No, I honestly had such a good relationship with her, and I think I would never say it was resent that I felt. I think I would just sometimes like miss her, because I really believe that when a baby is born, there's a connection, like there's a bond that has been, you know, like bonded between a mother and the baby, that just, you know, so I think, like, if anything, it was just like there was times where I missed her, and I just like had that feeling, but I never resented her. Like, I never felt, I've still to this day never had any negative feelings about her. Question says, what struggle did you go through being adopted? The biggest one was probably like, I would say like the hardest thing sometimes, like when I was younger, and like I said, when I was still growing and learning, was like feeling like no one around me was like blood related, and I couldn't, like, sometimes I felt like my parents didn't understand me when I was like a teenager, and I was like, is it because I'm not blood related to you? Which was like, I mean, I guess there could be some truth to that, but it's, everyone's personality is so different, and yeah, so I think that would probably be like something that's probably like that was like the most difficult, but I wouldn't even really say that like anything was like super crazy to go through. But like I said, let me know if you guys have any questions, or if you have any comments on anything, and if you want to see any more videos from me, just leave them in the comments below, and make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and make sure to subscribe for more videos on fashion, beauty, fitness, and lifestyle design. And I'm so freaking excited to talk about this. It was so much fun, and I really hope you enjoyed it. And if you know someone in your life who you feel like has gone through adoption or is thinking about it, send them this video, because I really think that hearing it from someone who has gone through adoption and who was adopted, it can, you know, it can help them maybe in some way. I'm so thankful for all your support, and anyways, have the best freaking day of your life, and live life to the fullest, because why not? And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.